20 bucks, 20 bucks. Go down the line for 20 bucks. They keep on playing. I'm going to be playing. And the sequel and some dime. Hi guys, Jabor. Hi everybody, welcome to Mrs. Calabash Cooks. Come into my kitchen. It smells beautiful. We've got spices everywhere, getting ready for Christmas. I was looking on the calendar and thinking, oh my goodness, there's hardly any time left. It's almost December. And I'm a little bit behind with preparation this year. So I'm just going to wash this bowl, excuse me. Just a little bit sticky. I used it with some honey. So we're going to make mincemeat. Now, I'm diabetic, as you know, and so this means that I can't eat normal mincemeat. I love mince pies. So this is a recipe that I've made over the years. It doesn't have any fat in it, and it doesn't have any sugar. So this means that it has to be stored in the refrigerator for up to 3 weeks max, or I make it and I put it in little containers and I freeze it. Now the derivation of mincemeat is actually, it used to be, back in medieval times, they actually used ground meat, either beef, lamb, pork, but with all the spices and everything. And you've got to remember that the climate in England was, it goes back to medieval times, but you've got to remember the climate in England was very different to what it is now. So we actually had lemon trees, oranges. We had an awful lot of grapes. Back in Roman times, we had vineyards. The climate was different. So, and it's virtually using the same as we use today, but without, I'm not using the suet, I'm not using the meat. Very often, if you're making mincemeat and the apples are a little bit overripe, they can ferment. So sometimes if the apples are overripe, we just cook the apples in a little butter, and that stops any fermentation. But for this, everything is going to be cooked. And I've got a mixture of dried fruit here. I've got a few glassy cherries in there. I like glassy cherries in my mincemeat. A lot of the sweetness of this comes from dates. So we've got some dates in there. Now, you wouldn't normally find dates in mincemeat. A little grated lemon and orange peel, and some freshly grated apple and carrot. Now the carrot will add sweetness to it as well as flavour. So just mix those together. We're going to put everything in here like this. And it's 3/4 teaspoon of ground of allspice. That is half, and that is 1/4. You can add a little cloves or cinnamon, that is a personal choice. Lemon juice and orange juice. Now, you see this, the reason why we have to freeze this is the sugar is the preservative, and it doesn't have any sugar in. So, and the secret ingredients. You can use rum or brandy. I'm using rum today, and the alcohol will boil off. It's 1/4 cup, because we're going to cook this. We're going to put everything into this pan. Cover it, simmer it, and we're going to simmer for 10 to 15 minutes. We want the all the dried fruit to be nice and plump and juicy. So this is all that it takes. The prep takes a lot longer than the cooking, believe you me. There we are. Let's get rid of that. So you see, that looks nice. I'm going to take it over to the stove, bring it up to heat, cover it, and then you'll join me back in about 15 minutes. So let's go over to the stove now. I put it on high to begin with. We're just going to stir it around until it reaches temperature, turn it down and simmer until the fruit is nice and plump. And that is all there is to making mincemeat without sugar and suet. No fat, not even any butter in it. So it's as healthy as you can get mincemeat to be. So I'll see you in 15 minutes time. Bye. Hi everyone, we're back. I don't know if you can see how plump the fruit is. It's absorbed all the liquid. Look, beautiful. So we're going to take this back to the butcher block. Oh, there we are. Now, as I said before, this can either be kept in the refrigerator for 2 to 3 weeks before using it, but I put it in the freezer. Just remember, when you put it in the freezer, don't overpack, because as it freezes, it is going to expand, and the spices it'll bring out the flavour of the spices. So there's only 2 of us. So I'm just looking here at the different sizes of containers that I've got. And you can see I've written on mincemeat, November 2019. So I like to keep it for about 6 to 8 months max. So then I know exactly when we put it in the freezer. So this is going to be very hot. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pack. Now there are only 2 of us, but over Christmas obviously we'll be having people in. And so I'm going to just pack like this. And once it's cool, the top's going to go on and it's going to go in the freezer. This won't be quite as sweet as a traditional mincemeat, but I find it, I like it. I find a traditional mincemeat now rather too sweet. So let's just make sure that we take everything out of the pan. Let's get rid of that. You can make double, triple this and keep it in the freezer, depending on the size of the family and the amount of entertaining you're going to be doing. And the nice thing about this is you can make a little and then next week make some more. There we are. Let's just remove that. Put it on a board. And that is all there is to making mincemeat without sugar or fat. And so enjoy your mince pies. I will, I know. 20 bucks. They're on the line for 20 bucks. Keep on playing. There we are. All labelled. Bye. See you again. 20 bucks. 20 bucks.